Alex Weicker here, owner of Amigos Immigration Law and Services. And today I'm going to talk about what to do if your case at USCIS is taking too long. This is one of the most major problems with all applications and petitions going to USCIS right now. Everything is taking forever. So what can you do? So the first thing that you want to do is you need to know whether what you applied for is what would be considered within, quote, normal processing times for USCIS. Now, what you may consider normal is not going to be the same what USCIS considers normal. In order to figure out what is a normal processing time for your petition or application, you're going to need a couple things. First of all, you're going to go to the USCIS webpage for checking case processing times. You can do a Google search for it if you need to. Whenever you get there, you want to put in your form number. So for instance, if you filed an I-130, you scroll down through the list and find I-130. Then you're going to need to know where the form that you filed is being processed. So if you haven't gotten a receipt notice or biometrics notice or even gotten any notice yet, you may not have your receipt number. And it's probably too early to do anything. Unless it's been going for a really long time and you haven't gotten a notice. In that case, you need to place an inquiry for missing notice. That's a different video. Anyway, your processing center is usually going to be at the bottom left-hand corner of your receipt notice. It may be the National Benefit Center, or the Nebraska Service Center, Potomac Service Center, California Service Center, and so on. You should see it there. Find out where your application or petition is and pick that box. If it is an application or petition that's going to a field office, then you're going to want to locate the proper field office for you, probably going to be the one that's closest to you. But anyway, once you find that, then you're going to scroll down a little farther and it's going to give you a time period. Right now, what they're listing is a time period that 80% of cases at that processing center like yours are processed within. So maybe it's 10 months, 22 months, 150 million months. I don't know, but that's what it's going to show there. But what that number is not necessarily a representation of what normal processing times are, or whether or not you can take any additional action. To get that information, you need to scroll down a little farther, because right now they put a little box on the case processing times webpage. In that box, you're going to put the receipt date of your benefit or petition. Okay, and that receipt date is going to be at the top of your receipt notice. There's going to be a date there. So if you put that in and you click the box, it will then let you know if you have indeed reached a date where you can place a case inquiry on this, or if it is considered within normal processing times. And if it is within normal processing times, it should display a date that you can then place an inquiry. It may be a while for certain benefits. If your case is within normal processing times, your options are going to be a little limited. You need to, if you need this benefit processed urgently, you may be able to file an expedite request. I cover that in a different video to see if you're eligible for that. Certain benefits have to be adjudicated within a certain period of time. For instance, certain work permit applications for asylees have to be processed within 30 days. Just to see if your case falls in one of those categories, you might want to talk to an attorney. And if it does, you may be able to take additional action. In any case, if your case is outside of normal processing times, or if you can take action on it, the first step that I usually do is I place a case inquiry online. So you can go to, again, you can Google USCIS outside of processing time case inquiry or USCIS case inquiry. You fill out the form, you can place an online inquiry. Make sure you have your receipt notice and your general information about the applicant or petitioner in order to do that. After you send that notice, you should get email back from USCIS saying that the inquiry has been received. And then within some period of time, usually within 30 days, you'll get some type of a response back. It may not be very helpful. It may help a little bit. At the very least, it might help grease the gears, get your case moving a little bit. Generally, if I place one online case inquiry, I'll wait 30 days And if I don't get anything back, or if the response that I receive is not sufficient, then I'll place another inquiry. After 2 inquiries and 60 days, at that point, then I'll step it up. And at that point, I could maybe file a USCIS Ombudsman case assistance request. And in order to do that, you can search for USCIS Ombudsman case assistance request. Again, there's an online form for doing that. I would not go straight to that. They are getting backlogged. And you really want to show that you have taken some steps to fix the problem through online inquiries, or perhaps you could try calling the USCIS hotline or ask Emma. Just take those steps. Even if they're not useful in fixing the problem, make sure you keep your confirmation numbers or case numbers that they give you whenever you make those requests. Because whenever you make the Ombudsman case assistance request, they're going to ask for a list of steps that you've already taken. I find case assistance requests to be generally pretty helpful, but the processing times are getting longer and longer. It may take a couple months for the Ombudsman to do something. If the Ombudsman is not helpful, at that point, you don't have a lot of options. You're going to have to break out the big guns. You might have to file a federal lawsuit, a mandamus. For that, you're going to want to hire an attorney to do that properly. Other than that, you could also place a congressional inquiry. So you can contact your representative or your senator. They can actually be extremely helpful at getting a case moving that's stuck at USCIS. And in order to do that, you're going to have to do some digging for how to contact your representative or senator. And usually their website will have some type of an online form that you can fill out to place your inquiry. I mean, you may even want to do that before you go to the Ombudsman. Those are the main ways that you can try to get your case unstuck. I know USCIS is moving very slowly right now, but there are tools that you can use to take some control back and make sure that your application doesn't get stuck in some type of administrative black hole.